What is going on, everybody? It is Alex coming back at you with another video, and today we are going to be doing a mock draft Monday special, no trades, one round mock draft. So if you guys are new, I would love for you guys to stick around. We just breached 6,600, I guess a couple days ago, so I would love for you guys to come join, come continue the hype trend. We're trying to get to 7K by the end of the month. Only you guys are able to make that work, so I would appreciate if you guys help me out doing so. Let's get on with the video. Let's have some fun. Remember, this is a no trades mock because we do a trades one as well during the week because it's cool. You get to put yourself in situations that you normally would not be faced in. So at the same time, you get to be uncomfortable, but also have some really cool insight because, again, you don't like a pick. You have to actually, force your way into something that works rather than just saying, I'm going to trade out of this spot. So starting off with the number one overall pick, if the Bears cannot trade out, which, yes, there will most likely be a trade out option here, they're going to be looking at Jalen Carter and Will Anderson. There's no in between. And the only thing that makes me say, I always go Jalen Carter for this pick, but the only thing that makes me want to change that is the fact that your next pick is late second. And obviously, yes, you can trade back, you can get more picks. This is not a trades mock draft. Again, I'm going to emphasize that because we have to make picks like this. So for me, Will Anderson might be the best option for this team. You're going to develop him either way. I think Jalen Carter's the best value, but for originality's sake, we're going to be going Will Anderson Jr. here to be that number one overall pick. You can't go wrong. He is my number one overall player, but it is what it is. You guys might disagree with my board that's directly underneath my face, and that is perfectly fine. Feel free to drop comments about it, but also join the Discord. We have over 660 people there now. Absolutely insane how fast it's grown. And we do stuff over there like tape studies and all 22 that you can't do over here on YouTube, as well as you getting access to potentially joining the fan mock draft. So please join. Would love to see you guys there. Pick number 2. I don't think I need to talk about much. There's no discussion on this pick. Bryce Young's there. He's going to be the pick. I don't think CJ Stroud has closed the gap that much. I think that it would be similar to how Travon Walker jumped Aiden Hutchinson, more of a GM preference than based off of just pure talent. So, Bryce Young, his play style is similar to Deshaun Watson, who, the last time the Texans were successful, was when Deshaun was at his peak. So, pick number 3 for the Cardinals. Jalen Carter's here. You can't, again, no trade outs. Jalen Carter's here. I don't really think there's much need to go deep into that type of conversation. There's nobody even remotely worth it at that point. But CJ Stroud is going to be the guy for the Colts. Again, I don't think I need to explain much here. You guys would see it every single mock draft. Probably going to be the guy who gets selected if they move up to 1. So, it is what it is. You test it out. It's later on, that's at this pick, that's where it starts getting a little bit finicky, where you're okay, well, I would love to trade out. Maybe a team wants Will Levis, so I would want to do that. But pick number 5 is down to Myles Murphy and Tyree Wilson for me, personally. I know a lot of people love Tyree. A lot of people love him, especially you Seahawks fans. I see your comments. And remember, always tell me when I'm wrong. Just don't be a dick about it. I'm more than happy making good content for you guys. And if I'm messing up somewhere, I'd rather do it once than do it every other time in the future. So, again, I ask y'all to help me out because you're a super fan. You focus on one team versus I focus on 32. You guys help fill in the gaps. So, I do appreciate that. I think Myles Murphy is just much better than Tyree Wilson. And I like Tyree Wilson. I mean, you could see it on my board. Where is he at? Number 16. It's not a revolutionary thing. I think Tyree Wilson's a great player. But Myles Murphy does clear him, in my opinion. I think that he's the best supporting cast player that you can draft at number 5. Pick number 6. A lot of people want to go quarterback. I do not. And again, for the people who continue saying, I want to draft a quarterback for the Lions, I do not. I have never said that. Well, I used to back in early in the year. But ever since, it's okay, well, I don't think you're going to get an upgrade from Jared Goff. I don't think that's what this class offers you. I think you can wait till next year if Jared Goff's not good enough, but there's a reason why Ben Johnson stayed. And it was not to develop Will Levis, in my opinion. I don't think it's to develop Will Levis. So at pick number 6, you're down to guys like Brian Breeze. Oh, God. It's down to pretty much, realistically, Brian Breezy. I don't think that he would have come out or he would have debated coming out or not if he was guaranteed to be a top 10 pick. I'll just continue dying on that hill. But like a lot of people might want Tyree Wilson. I would just say he has very similar measurables, except for the 6'6" part, to Josh Pascal that you drafted last year in the second. I don't know if you need to force a Tyree Wilson pick here. And I think corner is a huge one that you could totally draft. There will be one there at pick 18. This is a prime position that I would tell you guys, find a team that wants Will Levis and get an extra first next year. Honestly, this is the perfect spot. The more I think about it, this corner class is super duper deep, and you can get a star here at 18. And there's not really much of a need to take this pick. There really isn't. You're not getting your best value by saying, I'm going to spend a pick here. But since we have to, I might just go with the Tyree Wilson pick. Because, again, Josh Pascal, he's not proven, and neither is Tyree Wilson, to be fair. But Tyree Wilson does have a little bit more upside, and he's a really good run stuffer out of the gate, and his production as a pass rusher. I would not be surprised if Tyree goes this high. And you know what? I know James Houston's there. James Houston's awesome. He's going to be a rotational guy who's going to get, the fact he got over 5 sacks alone is awesome. But I think it's the best bang for your buck. Again, Brian Breezy, I can't get that on board with it, even though he's risen up my board exponentially because of the guys who have left the draft. But we're going to go Tyree Wilson. It's just a super project. I know it kind of conflicts with Josh Pascal. Not a pick I'm necessarily proud of, but honestly, the more I think about it, I'm so going to be trading out of that pick. I really totally believe that I'm trading out of that pick and trying to get an extra first-round pick in the future if I can. Pick number 7 for the Raiders. I think this one is a perfect spot for Joey Porter Jr. I love it with all my heart. Devon Witherspoon is not the number 1 corner in the class. I think he's corner 8 for me. And that's just telling you how good the class is. I still have him worth, top 32 on my board? Yeah, at corner 8. That's incredible. Incredible value. Of course, there are 3 guys in there that have not been updated for 2022, all 22. I digress. Pick number 7, I'm going to be going Joey Porter here to the Raiders. I think that is just the best thing that you can do. There's not much. Will Levis doesn't fit a Josh McDaniels system. Don't screw over Will Levis. Don't screw over Josh anymore, or the Raiders fans. Get a veteran quarterback that's more of a distributor, or go after someone like Mac Jones. I can guarantee you can spend probably one of your a second round pick, maybe a third round pick, and easily get him. It's not that hard to do. So if you really want to, you can. And I would rather do that and get Joey Porter than spend it on Will Levis, who does not fit. Pick number 8. So this is an interesting spot because I usually have guys like Tyree Wilson or Myles Murphy here, and it's an easy option for me. But I'm looking at corner 2. I think that's a good position to go. I also think that you could look to address the edge rushing position. You also have an early second round pick. I think that's more than fine to address it. BJ Ojulari, I don't know how much hype he's going to get. Obviously, you guys see where he is on my board at number 9 overall. I'm a big fan. That could be a guy who fits perfectly here in Atlanta. I would not doubt it for a second if he ends up going that high. And Isaiah McGuire, nice. He's slowly moving up the board since they're taking guys out. Very excited for that. Good job for PFF for doing that. I don't know if Latu's coming out, and if he is, that's pretty damn cool. But I think that you could look at Will Levis here. You could. I don't think I'm going to. Again, you could go corner as well with Keely Ringo. I know a lot of people don't like Keely Ringo. I like Keely Ringo. I'm a fan of Keely Ringo. I think he's going to be great in the NFL. In the right system, this could be one of them. But for me, at this pick, we'll go an edge rusher. We'll give BJ Ojulari the respect he deserves. No one talks about him, but he's 250 pounds. He added weight, added production, and overall is just a super dynamic player who was able to improve his game from year to year. And I got to give credit where credit's due. If you're showing that improvement, I got to give you a little bit of love. BJ Ojulari could test very well at the combine, make an exponential rise the way Jermaine Johnson did. He did mainly because of the Senior Bowl. But BJ Ojulari could do that for other reasons. Pick number 9. Will Levis could be this pick as well. I don't think that whoever's there is going to want Will Levis over what you can get next year. There's probably going to be some comfortability with their job security saying, hey, honestly, I'm not going to waste our first pick. I want to get something that's simple. I want to get something that is going to be a proven starter on our team. Positions I would look at for that, I would look at edge rusher heavily. Again, not really. I'm not taking 4 edge rushers. I've already taken 4. I'm not taking 5 in the top 9. So you can look at edge rusher. You can look at corner. I think corner is a bigger need than what a lot of people say. I do. You look at Cam Smith here. You have one proven corner on your team, and that's J.C. Horn, who's a baller. I like J.C. Horn a lot. So gotta give him credit where credit's due. But you look at guys like C.J. Henderson, guy eaten up. I mean, obviously, look at the game versus your own in-division rival in Tampa. You get destroyed because of your corner play. And yeah, Horn wasn't, I believe, healthy for that game, but you can't be relying on your corner 2s and 3s to be able to step up, and then they can't. You need to have somebody who can step up when their vacancy is there. And looking at guys, Christian Gonzalez could be a great understudy, but I think Cam Smith could be an awesome player to add to that arsenal. Again, you're having that South Carolina connection. I would personally trade back and get another corner, similar to the way I was talking about for the Lions. Pick number 10 for the Eagles. Paris Johnson seems to be a move that seems very Howie. Same thing with Peter Skoronski. My only thing is, I don't know if Peter Skoronski can ever play tackle in the NFL. I am worried about it. You look at his arm length, he never initiates contact. The defender always is the one initiating. And usually the person who initiates, especially in the NFL, is the guy who is able to control the engagement. And when you have higher level edge rushers, those are the guys who I'm scared about controlling the engagement. I want my tackle to say, this is how we're going to play. This is the game that we're going to play. I don't trust Peter Skoronski to do that, especially against some super top tier edge rushers. So I love Peter, but I do have those concerns. You see, I have him high on my board, but that doesn't mean that I have faith that he's going to be able to do it at the NFL level at a tackle spot. I think he'll be an excellent lineman, but I think Howie's looking for a right tackle replacement. I don't know if Peter Skoronski fits that bill. So other positions you could be looking at, corner for sure. I totally believe that corner should be on the board for this. I might go Peter just because it's a Howie thing to do. We'll toss it in. I've never done a Peter to the Philadelphia Eagles, but tell me it doesn't feel like it. I just have to put that out there. I got to put that disclaimer that I don't believe that he could be the long-term answer at tackle. But you are taking a shot on it. And he's going to play guard in this short run. He's going to be better than Suomalu. You already know how he doesn't draft only defense in the first. And I always go a corner or an edge rusher at that pick. I think it's fair to say it's time to change it up a little bit. Pick number 11 for the Titans. Will Levis is here. I would totally be down for Will Levis. Again, this is a spot where a free agent quarterback can come in and then you draft an offensive lineman and say, hey, we're going to invest in you rather than invest in a rookie. So do with it as you will. I like Will Levis to this team, but I do want to show a little bit of love to the offensive line. Drafted offensive tackle from Ohio State last year, their left tackle, and Nicholas Petit-Ferrer. Now you're going to be drafting the left tackle from this year, Paris Johnson, who I have much lower on my board, but again, I blend my board with the realistic one to give you a nice balanced approach to the draft. Pick number 12, Brian Breezy would be an intriguing option at this spot. I always go wide receiver for this team, so having a different approach would be kind of cool. I think I'm going to do it because, again, you're not really losing out on much. So being able to have somebody, you already know he's going to get good block sheds. He's going to be able to rush the passer well. The problem is, my issue with him, he has over 30% missed tackle rate, which is weird because he has long arms, so you expect for him to be able to get his hands on people and bring them down. A little bit weird. That could be coached. But the thing is, his processing is horrible. It is. And it has nothing to do with the family situation that happened. It's not like he's not trying hard. That has nothing to do with it. It's he gets to the backfield and doesn't know where the hell the ball is. That's my only issue with him. My only one. Besides the tackling, which I think is coachable. So, you have an elite block shedder. You have an elite pass rusher. I think that is a good foundation for a team where the sky's the limit. So you might as well test out what you can do if these players hit. You might as well try to hit some home runs while you're at it. I'll scroll down so you guys get to see a little bit more of my board. Pick number 13 for the Jets. I always love going offensive line for this. I think I'm going to continue that trend in the meantime. And someone who I absolutely love is Darnell Wright, who's moved up to be my offensive tackle number 1 in the draft, if you don't count Peter Skoronski as an offensive tackle. So I love his left tackle and right tackle versatility. That way you can literally have him play anywhere you want and you'll be happy. He's played very well at both, including against Will Anderson. He played well at both positions. I think right tackle is a strong suit, but it's also because he's a year older with more experience. So I can't say that that's definitive. Pick number 14. So Brian Branch, I would love that to the Patriots. Again, I love Brian Branch to this team. We're seeing Will Levis fall. Again, the Jets are a free agent destination, in my opinion. We could see Will Levis slip just because of his age. It's just a thing. And then you have a lot of free agent quarterbacks. Another reason why I think Will Levis could slip in this situation. Yes, teams should be trading up. This is no trades mock. So I'm going to look at offensive line here. We're just going to go with the standard fare. Maybe Bill doesn't want another Georgia tackle. The reason why he's not re-signing his Georgia tackle. And Anton Harrison deserves some love. So we'll definitely show him a little bit of love there. Pick number 15 for the Packers. I think Brian Branch is the ideal pick for them in the first. If it's not Tyree Wilson, it's going to be Brian Branch. They don't go offense in the first. I think they should go offense in the first. But at the same time, Brian Branch is somebody who's extremely dynamic at a safety position where you're going to be losing Adrian Amos. I think potentially Darnell Savage as well. So you're going to be able to have that nice, monstrous, high upside player there at number 15. Pick 16, Will Levis is still here. I had a higher grade on Sam Howell. I'm going to trust in Sam Howell. So the right move here is probably to address offensive line. You have Osiris Torrance here. I don't believe in Osiris Torrance the way that a lot of other people do. This is a weird spot because I don't like the players here. I'm going to go corner. Devon Witherspoon is probably the second best zone coverage corner here to Emmanuel Forbes. And I don't think it really matters which way it goes. Like Keely Ringo as well. He's another really good zone corner. You can go Forbes, you can go Witherspoon, you can go Ringo. I don't think it really matters in all fairness. So Witherspoon's been getting a lot of hype. He is somebody who is a ball hawk. My only concern with him is his speed. He looks like he runs 4.5 flat, and that might not be good enough in the NFL. So I'm going to look at these two guys who run much faster speeds, Forbes and Ringo. And I'm going to say Ringo might have the bigger upside, especially since I think he's 30 pounds heavier than both of them. So definitely taking him is the right move. The Steelers, it's tackle or corner. It's one of the two. And I always go tackle for them in the first. Broderick Jones seems like the best move. But at the same time, I feel like Emmanuel Forbes is a Steeler. He plays way stronger than his weight suggests. And finally some All-22 came out. So that's why I can confirm with you guys that I've actually watched All-22. And he plays phenomenally. He plays much better than Devon Witherspoon in my eyes. And he's just somebody who I have a lot of confidence in being a really good NFL player. So he's graded right now as my cornerback 4, right there with Keely Ringo. I'm a big fan of that. But a team that could use a guy like Devon Witherspoon or Christian Gonzalez is right here with the Lions. So we're going to go Christian Gonzalez. I feel like he fits their system a little bit better. He has definitely issues. He does. Devon Witherspoon and Christian Gonzalez are they're tied neck and neck essentially. But Christian, he's going to have some issues with guys who are more finessey, very high skill. So luckily, if I'm thinking correctly, the only guy you have to worry about right now is Justin Jefferson really being that threat in your own division. But somebody who's a really good release package, I'd be scared shitless if he went up against someone like George Pickens. I would, because George is an amazing guy on his terms of his release. I'd be very scared about that. He got beat consistently on inside press or inside release. He got beat consistently on clean routes. And this is talking about Stanford wide receivers. He's getting beat by this. So NFL receivers, obviously multiple tiers above. So I do have my concerns, but there are those insane flashes, which definitely warrants him being here. Will Levis, if he somehow falls to this point, should be the pick there at 19. Anthony Richardson is an intriguing option here at 20. Of course, we got Myles Murphy earlier, but looking at other options for them, Nolan Smith would be kind of cool to have on that outside, but I've already drafted an edge rusher. No need to do so. No need to go DB, and defensive interior is not worth it. You could look at someone like Trenton Simpson, Drew Sanders as guys who are really good options for you at that linebacker spot as well. Without trading out, I think Osiris Torrance is going to get that first round hype. He's going to be very athletic. My only thing I'll tell you guys is he reminds me a lot of how Kenyon Green played guard. There's some reps where it's whoa, what the hell are you doing, buddy? But there's also some very dominant reps. So I believe he's going to be very good. I don't know if it's going to be year one, which might be the best for you. If we're going to be honest, if he has a big jump year two, after you guys kind of like don't do as well year one, then you guys very well might be in the right spot to get a franchise quarterback. I don't know if Anthony Richardson is going to garner that type of excitement. And I want to do something different than just drafting AR to you guys. So with this pick, I think Bijan's here. Bijan's going to go sometime. That's going to be the big enigma is like where Bijan goes. But there's no way that they put Jordan at. I'm just tripping balls now. Obviously, Quentin Johnston should be at least considered for some of these teams in here. But I'm not going to take Quentin Johnston here. I'm going to take Jordan Addison. I think he's a better fit. I think he's a higher upside. Even though I still have them right up here as wide receiver 10 and 11 on my board. Yeah, I mean, the Ravens somehow get a steal. I don't think I need to explain that for you guys. Pick number 23. Anthony Richardson's a very intriguing option. You know, obviously, he has all the measurables that you're looking for. This team should be going after Devon Witherspoon, though. It should be. So, Devon Witherspoon it is. Again, I want to talk about Anthony Richardson at that spot, but I don't think I have the conviction yet to go after Anthony Richardson, and there's no way that you have him ranked. That's embarrassing. But pick number 24. So the Jaguars, I would love to look at a slot corner for you. There's just no reason to do so at this spot. No fucking way they don't have Clark Phillips in the top 100. That is disrespectful, man. Oh my God. I haven't taken a deep look at this in a hot second, but it's like, that's wrong. That is so wrong. Why is center a need? PFF, you just got to be better, man. Tight end, I do think Michael Mayer is an intriguing option. I think Luke Musgrave, wow, actually, there's not very many guys that really surprised me. Interesting. I don't remember the South Dakota State tight end saying he's going back, but like Luke Musgrave is that guy who fits exactly the tight end that, you know, you're looking for. But I mean, Michael Mayer would not be a bad option here. And it's a way to take him away from maybe some other teams that might want him, like the Bengals. I think that would be a really cool option. Let me know what you guys think about this. Michael Mayer is going to go in the first. He's a great blocker as well. He's going to add to that offensive line presence. And we still have one really good offensive lineman on the board. But for the Giants, dude, you got to admit that the offense was just not up to par. You ask yourself, what is going to be the difference maker? Like, what's the thing going to move the needle the most? Is it another corner? No. And is it like, I mean, you could re-sign Daniel Jones short term. I think that'd be a great idea. But do you want to pay $30 million to Daniel Jones, or do you want to pay like $8 million a year to Anthony Richardson and see if he can become something, or trade him away for future draft capital? To me, I think that's the route I'm going to go. If he's there at 25, which he won't be, teams will be excited about the potential. I mean, he might slip. You never know. But definitely going to be the guy to look at there for the Giants if he does slip. Broderick Jones is going to be my pick here. I don't care who else is on the board. I know you need a boundary corner, but like sometimes you just go with the best value. Being able to get good offensive line play is paramount in the NFL. So Broderick Jones is going to be that man. Pick number 27 for the Bills. If Bijan's here, I'm going to take Bijan. Yes, James Cook exists. I think they can both exist very well together. I don't see many other positions that at least have the value of this pick. And yes, you could trade back, but not in this mock draft. You could look at O-line. Not a bad pick. I don't know why it's saying DB after you drafted a DB in round 1 last year. I think they need to switch that up a little bit, in my opinion. But I think Bijan is too good to pass on. And you're taking him away from the Bengals, because I would say I'd very much consider him for the Bengals. Pick number 28. Now for the Bengals, Trenton Simpson's an interesting option that nobody really talks about. Luke Musgrave could sneak in here if he runs into the low 4.4s, which is possible. I do like that. Let's look at offensive tackle, though. Apparently, Jackson Carman played really well, but I love the idea of Cody Mauch. One, you're taking him away from Kansas City. Again, you're playing defense, so to speak, draft-wise, by being able to secure a guy for you and also saying you don't want to secure a guy for somebody else. Cody Mauch is somebody who is very versatile, very athletic. Something that, I mean, he's worse than Broderick Jones, but at the same time, if you mold him correctly, this team's offensive line doesn't show very much progress in terms of that molding. But if you can find a way to do that, you're going to be able to. And if I'm not mistaken, your guard is out of North Dakota State. So you have that instant synergy. So pick number 29, how is Jackson Smith and Jigba still on the board? This is just how the draft falls when we have stuff like this. Otherwise, I'd have teams trading up for Jackson Smith and Jigba because I do like Jackson Smith and Jigba, just maybe not as much as the casual fan. Pick number 29, though. Again, this should be traded for Sean Payton or something. Siaki Ika could be cool here. It's not a great spot. I'm going to draft Isaiah McGuire, though, to be able to go in and have that 265 plus build to replace where Bradley Chubb was. I think that's going to be your best bang for your buck, my number 2 player in the class. We just want to show a little bit of love for him right there. Pick number 30. I think Juju's up for a contract this year. Jackson Smith and Jigba could be in a very interesting way to be able to get somebody who is very similar to Juju Smith-Schuster at a fraction of the cost. So for fun's sake, let me know what you guys think about this. I'm going to go Jackson Smith and Jigba there for the Chiefs. There is no way they say that wide receiver is a need for the Eagles in the first. Their number 1 need, are you kidding me? I'm not going to discuss that. That's a load of baloney in my eyes. But you're looking at it, Jalen Jones and Eli Ricks, to me, should be the way that you end off the first round. Of course, you can dress this in free agency. All this will change in free agency. But, Jalen Jones is my number 7 player on the board. It's kind of hard to let him slip out of the first. Other positions that I'd be willing to go for the Eagles, you could look at Nolan Smith, again, somebody who could be that guy backing up Hassan Reddick and then coming out and being an absolute beast. Otherwise, not too excited about Felix is there. He's a really good player, but I'm not necessarily over the moon about certain players here. So no linebackers going round 1 because we are going to be going Jalen Jones out of Texas A&M for the Philadelphia Eagles. Stay tuned tomorrow because maybe tomorrow or Wednesday, depends on if I'm going to do a mock tomorrow, if there is a crazy video that does come out. But there's the draft, end of the draft for you guys. But we're going to have a trades mock draft. And it's going to be 2 rounds because I want to start doing 7-round mock drafts because I want to be able to do that for your teams. That's going to help me even more on these because you guys are going to tell me the scheme, but I'm also going to know who's going to be up for contracts, who's going to be in there in the free agency portal. So we're going to have all of that and much, much more. Stay tuned for that. Thank you guys so much for watching. See you on the far side. Peace.